what the verdict was, where we're going from there, what the appealing is, and so many other, developmental projects that we're going to discuss as as a podcast. And I feel like we are you know the people are not really getting the right information from the right sources, and people just speculating. So we need to choose, and see that we can give people the right information. So that being said, uh, I will invite my fellow gentlemen. I think they are trying to join, and it's been like a headache, I think. And that's what it is. I mean, sometimes internet doesn't work, sometimes it works, but at the end of the day, we're here, and the most part is, we can able to access. And Makazi, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. So sorry
Okay.
about that. It was I was just, yeah. Oh my God, I don't know what happened. My
Okay.
Yeah, my internet went haywire. I think it went to Lusaka and came back. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I don't know what was happening.
The colleagues are not here yet.
No, they were here. They just like you. They dropped out because my internet was bad. Everybody was here. So because my internet was so bad, and
Okay.
yeah, yeah, you know. But in any case, how are things there? And
Oh, we are okay.
uh-huh.
In New Brunswick here is just too hot. There's no rain in forecast. So I'm just from the garden watering really heavily. You know,
Yeah, yeah, I
we
know
have
it.
a
No,
we have a community we have a
uh,
community garden where we all, do grow
oh,
vegetables for the community as well as for ourselves. So
yeah,
there's a portion where we do vegetables and then they donate to
uh-huh,
Buena Village for
uh-huh,
people.
uh-huh.
And then we also have our own little, stuff that we do.
Ah,
Where I grow Papila, I grow Chihuahua and things like that.
yeah. No, that's. I think I see most. Like even here, I see projects like that here. I've
Yeah.
seen them,
Yeah.
and I think they're good for the community. Where you can grow something for the community, and give
Yeah.
something for the community as well, and for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a that's a good thing. And yeah, I've seen it. It works. It's a good community project that we can actually even adopt, and take
That's
it
what
to our
yeah,
community.
actually that is what I've seen how they do it. So the moment I get to my village in Zambia, that is what I will bring the people on. Have one, two
Mhm,
shade, have each one of us have a little bed there,
mhm,
have a
mhm,
little bit of everything. And
mhm,
let it be community managed. And so that there's nobody who goes hungry, nobody who has everyone
mhm,
should have some vegetables, some tomatoes, some, just at very basic level.
mhm.
So I've adopted this move. Once I get to Zambia, I'm implementing it.
Yeah, that one is good. Yeah, that one I can agree with you. It's
Yeah.
good. Anyway,
I'll implement it.
Oscar, Mwanza
Hello?
mulipwani.
Bwino muli bwanji?
Ife tiri bwino mdala.
Ah,
Kaya mwadyera
Niba
huko.
niba mwansa,
Nowa
ah,
Oscar.
we
nimwe ba
ugendi
mwansa
mwan
imwe.
ugendi
Imwe
wa mwansa.
imwe ndimwe ba mwansa imwe. Imwe
Bemba
Uganda
have
ndi
no
mwanza imwe. Imwe ndimwe ba
Bemba
mwansa imwe.
Members have
Hmm?
no S, so they couldn't pronounce Mwanza. That's why they said the Mwanza.
imwe
Remember,
imwe nimwe bamwasa imwe.
even the early days of independence, as we were born in the 60s, they used to say one Zambia. Like, why are they saying Zambia? Oh, because they can't say
Imwe
Zambia.
bamwasa imwe. Imwe bamwasa imwe.
No,
Sure.
I'm fine, but I won't stay long. Like I said, I told Mr. Chanda there, Chirofia, that my son is in the hospital, so
Oh, yeah,
I
Oh,
yeah.
just
so
wanted
sorry.
to visit with you guys briefly, but I won't
Mhm.
stay long. Hmm.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
Akulu.
no, no,
Sorry,
no
Akulu.
problem. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hopefully he's doing fine now. Prayers and
Yes, we hope the ultrasound I'm not staying long because they are saying they may discharge him today. So
oh,
hmm,
that's good
yeah.
news. That's good news. Anyway, so
Hmm.
the elephant in the room. I think we all know what
And then, how is everybody? Sorry, I didn't ask you. How is
No,
everyone?
we are okay,
Hmm.
Akulu. We are okay.
Thank you, thank you.
everybody is good. We're all fine.
Hmm.
Here the weather is good. It's so
That's
sunny.
good.
So yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
from here I think we're going somewhere to Kwangala Pamench. Um,
Pame, like you.
mhm,
Hmm.
yeah.
So the elephant in the room.
Mm. The elephant, but Danny, welcome. So the elephant in the room, Iria Shiriaku, South Africa. The verdict, I think we all read it, we all watched it, and we all saw what happened. Uh, Ramwanza, maybe you want to go first and tackle this one.
You're giving a tough one. Mm.
That's the elephant in the room.
I what do I say? Personally, I'm not very surprised that
Mm,
they ruled in favor of the government. Um, I'm not surprised on that one. And my disappointment, though, is and I thought this will be probably the end of this drama, and the family will come to a realization that I think we need to move forward. Like they say, there's a closure in burial. You know, if you haven't buried you, this will go on forever. Um, the screaming, shouting, insulting in court. I know you members, they say Urosha something something, but
mhm,
I don't think this should be an excuse or a scapegoat. I think I mean it's difficult to put yourself in somebody if you haven't. Everybody's loss is unique, but I think the big sister went too far and insulting the attorney general as the one away Wambwa. And also, what what puzzles me, the team, is that Lungu's illness was well known. You know, Lungu himself told the press in 2015 that
mhm,
doctors told him it's a fatal illness, you know. So it was going to happen. Some point or another was going to happen. So this culture of witchcraft where we have to blame someone when someone dies in the village, someone must have done something, bewitched that person. I think is gone too far. Especially for a family at presidential level, what more Kumush? You know,
mhm,
if these
mhm,
people think really HH has a hand, he wants to do rituals to go and work for HH, it's just kind of disappointing because at that level, now I'm thinking, what about at the village, they'll burn me alive because a kid died and what. It's the same message I tell even at the workers at the farm. One of the farm workers was bitten by a snake. I said, you can't put your hand in a hole, right? Yeah, because you guys worked in a village. When you die here, you will say it's me, but I'm Rowan and I put you on the farm. You know, so it's that kind of belief we need to go somewhere. Uh, as to the petition, I'm not a lawyer, but I talked to these guys anyway. So I'm told, this one of the lawyers told me, says the petition is sorry, not a petition, an appeal. An appeal is not a restraint order. So an appeal is not a stay of execution. So what they are saying in simple English is that they may appeal, yes, but that not stop them from the orders that were given on Friday, unless they actually apply for a restraining or injunction.
Mm.
So I don't know where it's at, but again, I don't think the morgue has been given the order to hand in the body yet. So I don't think it's in Lusaka yet. It's still in South Africa. So that's my take. I
Okay.
submit. Mhm.
Thank you very much. I think there's so much to be talked about there. But I would like to welcome Danny, Dr. Danny. Uh, I know you've got a lot to say on this issue. But Danny, the saga in the verdict in South Africa, Ichtumbi Chireisa, Ichtumbi Tachaise, the petition. Where are we as Zambians? What are we looking at?
No, I think we are at a standstill for a long time, more than a month. But I think now we're making progress, and what happened in South Africa this week was great. The only thing I would urge the government is now to move fast and make sure the burial takes place as soon as possible. I wouldn't want them to come up with another week of national mourning and stuff like that. I think we had that already. I think people are done with that. I think when the body comes, we should just quickly go ahead and bury it. I would not want to hear another 7 days of mourning and stuff like that. That would just be something else, which is not. I don't think we need to do that now. Regarding the former first family, yeah, just like Vamanza said, I'm very disappointed with their belief systems, thinking that HH has something to do with this, and he wants him and the body alone somewhere in an exclusive place to do some rituals and all that. All that just garbage. I don't know why they are thinking like that. Yesterday I shared with this team when I said in Lozi there's a saying which says a thief who thinks that everybody steals,
Mm.
So a thief who thinks that everybody on this planet steals like him. So so this is something that I see in the family. They believe in these black magic things, witchcraft and all that, and
Mm.
they think everyone practices it. That's the way I look at it. So they are very worried that if they get this body, what people do with this body, they based on their belief systems. So we should do away with that. Yeah. The appeal will have no effect on the process. It will not delay anything. So I think we just need to move fast and bury the body, and then we close the chapter. And I think that's what we need to do. So yeah. But I think we have made great progress right now, and we shouldn't drop the ball as the government. Everything is in our hands now. We can proceed and bury the body, and everything will be behind us. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think if Ramashina, you got something to say. Yeah, I think you're the only one who has a different opinion on this one. Can you tell us why? What's going on, Mr. Chanda Vakazia? Is not there. All right.
No,
Basim Konde.
I don't see him around here.
Oh, I think it's Doctor Basim Konde. You're back. Thank you for coming back. So what's the mood? Because Basim Konde, you're broadcasting live from Zambia, and we want to know the feeling of the people. Abantu, what's the you know how are people feeling in Zambia right now, and what's the mood like? Are people happy? You know that there's that verdict that at least twala shika banani kane bakateka using a state funeral in a dignified way, or people want him to be buried in South Africa, because I think there are just two things here, really. Do the people want Zambian people want him to be buried in South Africa, or they want him to be buried in Zambia? What's your take?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And how are you, Dan? And then how are you, Bachanda? Actually, I think I was watching. I think that was. I think that was. I don't know if it's before the judgment. I think that was Tuesday or Monday. Yeah, when I was watching those broadcasts in court, and then I think the court reserved the ruling to say before Friday. Actually, I was looking forward to hear the. I was so busy, but some people reminded me to say, the ruling, the court has ruled. We are burying now. We are very happy. So, in short, what I say, the mood of Zambia is that people, they are very happy and they were very anxious waiting for the judgment. And I think almost everyone was happy to we can bury our former president. But others, we are different. Depend on which side you are looking the situation. We have those people, Zambians. We have people, those who are PF. Others, they are not happy. They are giving the opinion, and also they are supporting the appeal that which was made by the family. But what I can say on this one is that, and watching what happened, what transpired, and what happened, I think for me that was a good that was a good judgment which came in, and there's nothing to say. The family they have lost, but wanted to do the right thing, and that is what and the court delivered what is supposed to be done. That is our former president. He ruled us for 7 years. It's not a joke. It's a property of the state. So it's supposed to be buried in Zambia. But for me, I don't know where this issue, um, where this problem is coming from. And it's very, very unfortunate to reach where we've reached. I don't know what really people want, those who are behind, to say no, we don't want to bring the body to Zambia. I don't know what benefits they want to benefit from this. But we are not supposed to reach where we've reached. Would have buried a long time ago in a dignified manner and then move on as a country. But people, they have negative motive behind that. And the court of South Africa, I want to congratulate the South African government to deliver that judgment. That is the way it's supposed to be done. The former president is a Zambian property, supposed to be buried here. There is no issues. Those issues which they are bringing, I think it's not ordin order. The importance is we have to unite, especially in this time, so that we see how can we move as a country. Then we are fighting. There's no need. I heard those statements where they are giving, no, they want to use it for ritual. I don't know where those issues coming from. I don't know where that kind of hatred. I don't know. It's very, very unfortunate as Zambians, as a Christian, as we call ourselves as a Christian, can we reach to this extent? Even if you have differed, I think there's a time where we have to sit down and resolve and move on as Ubuntu, as a Christian, not holding grudges until now we've reached where we've reached. Now the entire world is watching us. Just on the simple things, we have a very, very important issue that we are supposed to move on, but we are still trying to fight over something that we can just sit as a country and move on. How best can we do? I think in this all issue, especially the family, they lack those wisdom. I think people to tell them to say this is how it's supposed to be handled, not the way it's happened. I think they are lacking those elders in that family. That is what I can say. They really lack elders, and also the church. They didn't pray much, especially on these issues. They contributed. That's why we've reached where we've reached. I think going forward, we're not supposed to. This thing is not supposed to be happening. I think for now, that is what I can say.
Thank you, Konda. Thank you. Uh, with me, I think what I can say is I was extremely disappointed. Uh, People are questioning to say, look, we want to acquire the family of Edgar Lungu. What's the big deal? I think even me, I'm asking myself, like, what really is the problem? Okay, because people want to find out and want to know. People want to mourn their sixth president, but the family is holding the government at ransom. So abantu barepshe, she can she? What's the big? What is it? What's the big problem, or what's the big reason? Because the reasons they have put across, we heard them in court. However, they are not holding water. They are not holding water. So, what is the big deal? Ni ki tabarefwaira ekitumbi kyabaeddiga kiyise Mozambique. Okay? And they're flip-flopping. Okay, let's just say, even if HH doesn't go continue, okay? Then they will say, oh, wait, tatulefwayo abantu bamona ekitumbi, abala munafe ekitumbi ni family. Niki banne ekyo mulefishira ekitumbi. And Bali to hire a physician to be traveling na n'ekitumbi inaisha onfwa point. Bakaunda balifuire, bakaunda among all the past presidents that have died. In my view, and most Zambians, we can say he's the most important president that we've ever had because he was the first president and he did a lot for Africa. Okay? And he's revered amongst all the nations, South Africa, Zimbabwe, because of Kaunda. Those countries are independent now. Pero Kaunda bafuire bane. Okay? Despite having all those accolades, all those big accolades, the government y'abalungu balandire cyane. Ngira nawe bane, instead mubashike next to the family wanted him to be buried next to our beds for farm. What did they say? Ngira nawe bane, walikuwa tapo tukikama heads of state. To overruled that. So that set a precedence in terms of Obotukarashika, because it even went to court. And then court judge. Is it? So now, what is so different na Lungu, and what is so special about Lungu, whereby him he'll be treated in a different manner? I don't know. Wadani, are you there now, Mr. Danny?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah, the thing is, as you have mentioned, we don't know the motives, what they want to achieve. The Lungu family, what they want to achieve by saying a church should never be near the funeral. So when that happens, what would they have achieved? That's a question they can't answer.
Mm-hmm.
People have asked them the question. So if a church is not going to be there at the funeral, it will be in another city. For example, Lusaka, he moved on the Copper Belt and the funeral takes place. what would you have achieved as a family? They say that's what we want. So I don't think that's, and if you'll be there, what would you have lost? They say they can't answer those two questions. So when HH is there, they say no, because Lungu said he doesn't want HH near his body when he dies. Okay, if not there, what is there? Oh, we would have fulfilled Lungu's what? If he's there, what will happen? Lungu wake up and say, hey, you didn't follow my instructions. So anyway, they can't answer that question very clearly as to what the motive is. They're just arguing for the sake of arguing. To me, it's their belief system. They believe in black magic. And that's the problem. They think everybody practices black magic the way they do. So they're putting these stories in to say, oh, the body, they will do this with the body, HH will do this with the body, perform rituals.
That was a
That's
little
in
bit
their
weird.
brain. That is what they're thinking, because that's what they do themselves. So they think what the rituals they do on dead bodies is what HH would do on dead body as well, which is not true. That's why I say a thief thinks everyone steals. So that's the thing. So that's the biggest problem here. The Lungu family believe in these black magic belief systems, and they just think that the body of their loved one will be tampered with in these rituals of theirs. But nobody's going to do that. So let's just bury and then forget about this and move on as a country. That's my view. And the other thing why I still believe that this family believes in such things as rituals is because they have restricted the seeing of the body to just now it's few, very un-Zambian, because in Zambian tradition, when someone dies, all the close friends of his or hers will see the body even before it's buried. They will go there to shinikisha echitumbi chiri mung'anda muli abalamiranga before tabachitwala na kumochera alamiranga ti uyu munenu nafa uyu apa uyu munenu nafa. They don't hide the body. They show everybody that comes around. But in this case, it's un-Zambian to say only Tassila and the mother have seen the body. Nobody else has seen the body. Chapa. It's very, very un-Zambian. Because even those, I don't want to add politics to it, but even the PF leadership should have been shown the body to say goodbye to their friend, even before it's taken to the morgue. They should have been shown, President PF, that's how we do it as Zambians. I remember when my cousin died, before he died in the house, before even the police came to get the body and take it to the mortuary and all that type of thing. All of us, his cousins, his sisters, his brothers, we saw the body in the house. We said, oh, you show people the body. That's it. It's nothing strange. But this family, they are resisting that. They don't want anyone to see the body. Why? That's a big question. Why don't they? Even now, if we heard that was given in a kachinda shanshanuko was body is different. But even in South Africa, where they are restricting the viewing of that body. In Zambia, they want to.
And why hire a physician to be traveling with the body?
It has never happened. Imagine.
I'm like, why?
Why do you hire a medical doctor who treats live bodies? He's not he treats living people, not dead people. And you hire him and you put in the contract, this doctor should always be with this baby. It's very weird. It's very weird.
It's weird.
There's something they're hiding, and they want to blame the HH and all this, but it's their rituals they want to do on that body, which they're pushing the blame to HH. Oh, HH should not be there. HH should not be there. They don't want a private. They don't want a public funeral. He was in a public office. This funeral should be public. Actually, in some countries, that's why they put the body in public for. Sometimes, if you see these presidents and prime ministers, they put it in for body viewing for days. People will be coming in long queues looking at the body saying goodbye. That's the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if yeah, presidents. That's the way. So we should put his body in the cathedral there or wherever for a day or
Mm-hmm.
two for Zambians to pay their last respect. That's what
Mm.
happens.
Normal,
But they
normal.
don't want they don't want that process to be handled by anyone else other than Tassila and the mother. Two of them.
Mm.
They should handle the body viewing thing. And the
And
people
they'll be choosing who to view.
yes. That's the biggest. They want the family to control who comes and sees the body. That's it. And it will not happen because it's a state funeral. A state funeral, the state takes over. The head of a
Mm.
state, the president of Zambia, and he normally gives commands to the military to take over the whole process. It doesn't mean that him is going to be carrying the coffin as they say, oh, he wants to be there with the coffin alone. No, it's not this the case. Anyway, I wish Chanda was here because Chanda is an advocate for for
Is
this
run
Lungu
away.
family, but he hasn't come.
Is run away. So
What's
now,
going on with
Mwishima,
him? I've been telling him that yeah, he said, no, mnefua for HH come on the body viewing, mnefua for HH come on the body.
so
What?
what's wrong with that?
So
If it
now,
sees the body, so
so
what?
now, the HH Ngamona, that same body, what is the problem?
They say it's a ritual at the HH because them they believe in
Which
this.
rituals? They have to come in open and tell us that ritual. And how do they know that he want to do rituals?
Yeah. Imagine.
Right,
Exactly.
right, and
Exactly.
I'm about to go.
Go ahead.
Like I said,
Put your 2 cents on this one before you leave.
yeah, nakwesa tushikutie gosito. Yeah, now it's an interesting, but I'll be listening, but I won't be probably contributing
No
as I was
problem.
driving. But one thing I agree with Dan in this belief system is so they've invested in it so much. When you look back, the infamous handshake between HH and Lungu at the
Oh,
Piapenda,
that one.
we just brushed aside, now beginning to believe, probably he believes in that. Why? What did he have in his hand?
Mhm.
That's one.
Mhm.
We also remember one time at the airport, I think Lungu was being asked to, I think it was a corruption scandal or something. What does he say? Mfwiti, mfwiti na mkadiran. You
Mhm.
see, you also had an interview with the Emmanuel Mwamba, I think it was last year, where
Mhm.
he was saying or alluding to the fact that if you didn't get along with somebody, how do you go to their funeral? Buloshi na ngonishi. You see that, you see
Mhm.
his word, yeah. So if him as the head of state is into this witchcraft beliefs and things like that, now can you imagine her sister? So I think, like Danny said, they have, Dr. Liswaniso said, they have invested a lot in this the belief system that kwalibo buloshi, 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 buloshi.
Mhm.
So even in PF, no one has even seen this body. Whether it's the chief Mona, Nakachinda, he couldn't even answer the question, even given Rubinda.
Mhm.
No one has seen it.
Mhm. That's that,
There's,
that's that,
there's
that,
evidence that
that's
was
great.
Anyway, you
Mozambicans,
guys,
which was
I have to go now.
okay.
No problem, Oscar. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
joining us.
I
Okay,
So
wish
thank you
my
very much.
Oscar, if you could volunteer Oscar, I would have loved to.
no, we
But
can tell you, but
okay,
Wakazi, I think the bottom line is this:
okay.
most people have got questions to why there's the resistance of the Lungu family, okay, not to honor their father or their family member a state funeral, because that's what it is. If you could no tatrefuaya HH akapose amenso pali balungu, because ngaposa amenso pali balungu minchi balamubika mu mafamu yakwe batambo kumugomfya mufya manani kane rituals awe bane mwina Zambia tatwafishi befu. Okay, we don't know those things. Kishaishwa po umuntu onaishwa bo who has that kind of power wakabati nga munafya omuntu nishatambo kumugomfya mufa mushamona. And us as we're growing up, if we talk, ask any average Zambian, they will tell you like If you are Buloshi, we don't even believe in that. Okay? Tatua Fikonka, we don't even follow those things. So the elder statesmen, their elder advisors in the family, Evalela and their filia. So number for Twala Monashani, how are we going to digest this kind of information? Because never, okay, he's dead, he died, but Nijma consider that baring South Africa. Other than Kuza, therefore, Kuishi by name coming from you. Why
Okay.
don't you want him to be buried in Zambia? Nishi.
First of all, I don't know. You see, that is what you have presented is one side of the Zambians asking those questions. But there's also another side of Zambians asking different set of questions that have not been answered. Kuti wakoserera shani chitumbi.
Whoever did first.
We shall come to your answer. I also want to question.
Mm, mm.
Because ngatabale kufwaya kuchililo takwabo kuyipatikisha okuyako to the extent of kuyana kukoota ati mpaka mbepo. Echo abantu website bushebulo shi. Because in our tradition, in Shamonako, any tradition in Zambia, whereby someone forces himself on a funeral, ngatabale kufwaya, the family. Shatara imonakweyo. It is the first time that it is happening, and people are asking questions the same way you're asking questions that Nisha Batabali Fwaida. But we have where it started from. And the things that have happened to get us to where we are. If you have to kill it, over the video, why are you talking about Wanga? Because all that creation, you've created Wanga Pashidi. The mere fact that this one person is not wanted does not mean that the entire country must be held to ransom because of one person who is in leadership. He must exercise leadership by excusing himself. Because the state funeral, president, there is no such a law that says when there's a state funeral, the president has to be there. The president can make a commitment that I will not be there. So ngamulefu ayaleke nimushike ku embassy noko mulefu aya but muno mwine mu Zambia. Inenshaka beku. But then you have the entire group of government starting to say mpakabepo to the extent of ukuyana mukubosha ama judges. Where the judges are free judge. Chavinga said that.
Now,
Let me finish, Matanda.
judges.
You will correct me if you so wish. But let me first make my submission. Because if manipulation yakwebati twafuma pa the substance. Mu Zambia, when you ask nobody in Zambia, nobody has said that, oh, we would prefer him to be buried in South Africa. The preference of him being buried in South Africa is because of the insistence of one person in Zambia who is not required at that funeral. And this one person is very powerful to the extent that Bachavinga na Badurini Mwamba very conversation where they are planning even to go there by corrupt to cleanse boss and stuff like that. That kind of thing and you see there's been no action taken on them. We wanted Balanga Bachimu prison and you cannot have people that are entrenched with government responsibility to behave in that manner. And then umingala to tetifibombe ngatabale kufwaya, you do not get there. Tapali no wanga, tapali no bulo shit, tapali. And my imagination to swerve people away from the substance. The substance is that there was no friendship between President HH and the President ECL. And it is a big lesson to us, favorite of Zambia. But in environment, we must never ever get there again. Ever again. Chavinga, nobody has said Chavinga land a movie. Nobody. Maybe muntu mineko, maybe video or whatever, where someone said what Chavinga was making was his own making. It never happened. There was no cause. There was nothing like that. Nobody has dissociated Chavinga on his own right now. What have we seen Chavingo, the next thing, the same things he said, Judge Kuria, Judge Achapas. Now, Kwaba appeal. Let the law, stop. The way you stopped the barrio, That is the way you must also allow this appeal to go without raising eyebrows. Why are you raising eyebrows? We raised eyebrows when you stopped it. What are you saying? You're saying it is in court. You want to raise eyebrows. Why are you raising eyebrows? However, let's advise and work together and say, boss, delegate someone else so that he can be there. But that has not happened. And they insist that in Pakafi. Why? However, miss. Can we work together in
Can
different ways?
can I come in on
Go ahead. Go ahead.
that one? The
Go ahead.
statement Bachanda is saying that, the statement Bachanda is saying that the government is insisting that HH should be on that barrio as the reason for going to court. That was clearly dispelled in the court. The Zambian government did not go to court to make HH be at the barrio. That was disputed by they told the lawyer, what are you talking about HH? Where is it written? The government went to court to stop the barrio of Lungu in South Africa. That was the reason. Chandagazi has just said the government went to court to insist that HH should be at the barrio, which is false. Okay? Did you hear what he said? He said you went to court. The government went to court to ensure that HH is present at the funeral. That is not the reason the government Kabesha filed in that injunction. That was not the reason. So that is not true. The government went to court to stop the barrio of Lungu in South Africa.
So
Not that, because what Chanda has even written as evidence, you went to court. The government went to court to make sure that HH is present at the funeral. That's not. They asked that question in court, and the lawyer couldn't answer that question. They said the government stopped the repatriation. They wanted the repatriation of the body to Zambia. That's the reason. The reason had nothing to do with HH. Nothing. But PF and their supporters are saying the government went to court to make sure that HH is present at the funeral. No, that's not the reason which the court had that case.
When you look at
they
what
stopped the barrio of the body in South Africa. So I don't know where Bachanda is getting that information that Mwalia na kukoti
can I
told
clarify?
the judges, no, we at pamuntu umo.
Can I clarify?
Pamuntu umo pesa. What
can I clarify?
Yeah.
Can I clarify?
Yes.
Yes.
Clarify.
Pamuntu umo, your question that pamuntu umo mwana kukoti. Can you clarify that statement you made that pamuntu umo, you went to court? Can you clarify? The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Oh, is this? It doesn't want to clarify.
Yeah.
So,
saying, to the extent of going to court just because you want one person, that was not the reason why Zambian government went to stop. They stopped the barrio of the body in South Africa. But PF are saying Zambian government went to court to enable HH to be present at the funeral. No, that wasn't the reason why they went to court. They stopped the barrio and they wanted the body in Zambia. That's it.
You see, just adding on what you're saying, Doctor, the court documents themselves, because the court only applies or rules on documents you present.
Yes.
And not assumptions.
Yeah.
The court documents that were presented were saying, he has to be repatriated.
Yes.
Okay. And when he's repatriated, he will be received by the head of state at Mulungushi. It is in them themselves. They're the ones who did it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a lawyer. That's why I say, like, sometimes don't just say, okay, let the lawyers do that. Read even you as a client, why verenga munaoid? Offer by lawyer bit.
Yes.
Because if you're just going to leave it to the hands of the lawyer, you're going to be disappointed. You know? So
They asked him that you agreed to a state funeral. They agreed that yes, we're gonna have a state funeral. And when they came in the court there, he said, no, we didn't agree. But
exactly.
they showed him the agreement. They said, this is the agreement you signed here, that yes,
Mm.
we agree for the funeral.
Mm.
And then he said,
And you
no, that
agree?
wasn't an agreement. This is an agreement. But you're saying we
What?
didn't agree. We agreed to take the body to Zambia. But why did you cancel it? And then he
Mhm.
said, oh, no, because in the agenda, it was mentioning HH there and all that. But you would have sorted that thing in Zambia. You would have gone there and said, no. Not let the body, but yapa, if it were like so. You can't
Mm.
stop the process
Mm.
before it even starts.
Eh,
That
how?
agenda was going to be, yeah. You say, no. South Africa, that's why I can't. That was very, very, very unresponsible act by the PF. And that costed them that case. In my view, and they don't even see the anger the South Africans have. They wasted resources on them. There was a lot of resources for that arrangement.
Mm.
Yeah? And then you just cancel like it's your money. No, we're not going to tell these soldiers, all these military, because it was red carpet, all these things, 21 guns salute. And you just come there casually say, no, we're not going to tell all these guys to go back. Ah, these PF characters. Imagine, that's what they did. And you say, no. There's a phrase in Zambia, Lusaka. So, if you want to, there were 200 and something South African soldiers. They had all those gun salutes. They did a red
Mm.
carpet. All this.
What an
Yes.
embarrassment. What an embarrassment.
And then you
What
just
an
come
embarrassment.
there. Oh, I'm sorry to tell you that we are not going to Zambia.
I
Come
don't
on,
think
guys.
they would even the
Even
South
if you
African government want to do it again after the
imagine.
ruling. I don't know, but maybe they would do it, but can you imagine
It,
this?
it, yeah.
Look at the history. What's so this now? Uh, Tasila Lungu, her children, when they
Yeah.
grow up, they'll start
Mhm.
looking at the history, okay, and they would want to make sense of it. To say, so what was the big reason why our grandfather they didn't want him to have a state funeral?
Yeah.
Because he hated the current president,
Mhm.
or because they said, because those are the reason at all, because they hated each other, and then
And then he was supposed to do
they are
rituals.
saying that he is going to use the body for rituals. Can you imagine? Like even me at my age,
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
understand that. Now you can imagine somebody, Tasila's child. How
Those
should
in a 40 years.
how will they be thinking? They'll be like, what is that? What is that? They'll
Yeah.
be totally lost. They'll be like,
Yeah.
is it?
The the belief system Yabena Lungu, they think every Zambian does what they believe in. And this is the problem here. They
Mm,
think a body, there must be rituals done to it before it's buried. And in this
mm,
case, HH is gonna do this. Akafunyola ulimi, name, so what you believe in. That's what they believe in, and they think everyone does it. A thief thinks that everyone steals. You know, makamfumia ulimi namenso na shanshani nolulimi batwala ku ng'ombe, whatever. That's what they think. Because their belief system. But they don't realize that it's them alone who think like that. It's not every Zambian, it's not HH who thinks like that. But them, they're imposing this
mm,
belief system to everybody that, we. Because so that's
mm.
the problem with them. It's very sad. It's very, very sad.
No,
But
but auntie, where has she been all this time? Because me, as far as I know, I never knew that Valungu balikweteko na ba brother, na ba sister, na ba shadi. I never
yeah,
knew that.
those were just created in Naimo. Those are
Yes.
just related to, because people were complaining, in the family did this, in the family they just went and pulled some people.
You
I
know,
don't think they are really relatives. Those they're
so
not.
that's why all these things come up, and that's why, unfortunately, two of the people that were saying that they have information on Eddie Galungu, saying that he's not a Zambian, are dead now.
Okay.
Okay. Nani kane Fresha Shwale
Yeah.
na Mulongoti.
Wow.
Suddenly they are dead.
Wow.
And according to Freshers, he told them, he challenged them, he challenged ECO to say, look, can you please bring your NRC?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is believed that teva edi niba
Mm-hmm.
mutawari ishina
Okay.
ishina yabo niba George Mutawari
Nabwera barukindo nabwera
mwabwera. Okay, monene okoirea nomba monene okoirea story hapa.
Ndio ufali mufa kwa mulelanda.
So
You guys are last time.
No, moneni. To refer to stay. Hold on.
I was making a submission, then you actually samputuka.
Okay, let me finish and then you can continue. Let me finish. So, nani kane ba Mulongoti na ba Fresha Shwale. Unfortunately, may their soul rest in peace. Valelanda uyu muntu uyu mulelanda po uyu. Temu Zambia. Uyu muntu. Afuma ku Malawi. Ishina kuni Jonathan Mutawari. Kainene ulelanda iyo abalelanda ni bantu babiri aba ba Mulongoti, may so rest in peace, na ba Fresha Shwale, may so rest in peace. They were saying that aba bantu, this man, he doesn't hold the heart of the Zambians to his heart because he's not a Zambian. Okay? So who's better to rule this country?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
You see,
So okay, so when that being said, if yadomba kwamuna all the sudden vali kwatako ba sister oba tatwaishive, I don't know mwe bakazia kuti mwanje bali mwabeshivepo tamwabeshive mwiravepo. So
don't speak on my behalf. I'm not speaking on your behalf.
Okay, fine. Can you tell us?
You see, Moneni Bachanda, Inetetimbe, an auditor of Barungu's family. Neither are you an auditor of HH's family that you know everybody. You don't. Ima munechita compound fintu na mufyangusha. Mune pango kufyapa pene, you are manufacturing things the way they are not. You are creating a very false narrative which doesn't exist. And you are thinking that munechita munepanga headways. Nangukufa ya support ya abantu teifi yowo. Nangu mulefa abamumonachi mu diaspora mu ababa to support. This is not the right way of doing it.
We're just talking about the way things are. We're not creating anything.
No, you're manufacturing things about you was not Zambian.
Tell us what you manufactured.
Hello, first of all, I want to correct Badani. Badani, what I said about going to court, I know the heads of argument. The court in South Africa would not rule on what is happening in Zambia. But imingala toshaya mbile kale. Program mwasuminishanya mwaisa achinja pakati. Mwambo kubika mwabantu bambi. Even you yourselves, you have never said that, this funeral should happen without the head of state. You have said he must be there yourselves as well. So you think, are we stupid that we don't know where this is going? Ngamulelanda nabantu abakwete kwa amano abasambirire who can analyze things. Have a different conversation. Not going to conversation No, Delanda imwelo mulelanda nabanenu. You should also think that they have the capacity to analyze things in the same way you are. Now,
Question. Okay,
you
okay, okay.
create,
Before you drop,
what? Let me finish. Let
Moneni,
me
But
just finish this
Bamashina,
last
before
one.
you dropped out, the question I
Let me
posed to
finish this.
you.
Let me finish this last one. You see, you have the capacity to talk about how others are thinking. Hello, that you are thinking like this. It seems they have the monopoly of knowing how others are thinking, and those others have no monopoly of knowing how you are thinking. Just put your points across. Don't take
Okay, okay. No, no.
let it get in our heads.
So
but
before you dropped out, I asked you a simple question that every Zambian is asking. Chishi chavipapo pavana nune va Edgar Lungu ukuya vashika ze state president ku Zambia. Chishi ichavipapo than him to be buried in South Africa. Why
Mucheta
are
mwacho
you
ufako
insisting?
nati asuka bachanda.
Umfweni.
Natabanira pokulanda nati. Also muina Zambia apela. Naine wine ulelanda. I would love our President Edgar Lungu to be buried in Zambia. But also, it is not just sufficient over bashika mu Zambia. Now, the conditions of ukubashika.
ubuloshi.
No, ubuloshi mumulepa. Ine ndemi yeba ifo ndilani. Ubuloshi mumupangile.
Ife
Namupanga ubuloshi apashika.
nibanani abalepundo obuloshi mukola.
Look at this. I am
the
the one
sister,
conversating here.
the sister to the president told
Can
the wife that
I
if
finish? So stop interjecting me. Why do you want to interject?
Okay, finish. And when you finish, welcome Bakalinda is just joined
Yes,
us.
I'll
I
also
think
keep
she's
quiet
got it.
and you finish.
You know, but anyway, finish.
So stop interjecting because in interjection, mwalufi omuntu from the points that I'm trying to make.
So, katwefo biru. I landed by PF landed.
UPND. So the point is, imingalato yakufwaya until the head of state is there, which the family does not want. Yeah, Bakali. Because there is no clear-cut answer from government to say, "This process yakushika Edgar Lungu in Zambia will go on without the head of state being there." That guarantee is not there. And that is why the family is apprehensive to say, imwe mulachinja ama goalposts. Nga mwalandechi, the next thing mulesa landechi. Mwalandechi, even your own commitments from Pakanwa, you backslide on them, you change about them. And then number two, what is being said and what is being done are different. You are talking about dignity. Oh, to dignity. What is going on in your camp by UPND? You are calling the dead body frozen fish. You are calling the dead body akatumbi with a minister dancing in. Hello, Mwalan, that no, we are there now to for a dignity. And nobody from your leadership is going to say, this kind of language must not be tolerated. This kind of behavior must be tolerated. So that Mwamoni Kero Murela and Dapachintu. Because there is a history of what you did at inauguration. And that is happening now, where people keep demeaning this body that they are looking for systematically, and nobody is telling them to say, stop this nonsense. Nobody. What if by the day akushika no by Africa West Lungu vekala munani mukabaleka with that behavior where nobody is checking it out? The minister is there. Minister who place having a big guys, don't your language. Ero mwaisa no mbati. Ero mwafa no mufite twist apa peni. Mwambo kuvika muno mbati. No, Bwanga, Vishani, basista wabo balifu babalelande. Me, I'm not sharing that view. But I'm saying the decision of the family is what I would go with. I'm not going with the decision of the government because government is imposing itself through the court of law. Pakatubeko, pakatusende. But you are not doing things that show respect and
Vamashina.
dignity to what you want to do. So
Vamashina.
enable.
Okay, maybe
Vamashina.
Maybe,
Machine.
Rufia, let me, maybe I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask a question. If when you go back, the incidents of the late Bakaunda, Lintu Bafuire, the wish of the family and Bakaunda himself was to be buried next to the wife. But the government said no. So the family went to court. So now, why did the government said, we are going to follow what the family is saying? The reason why the family went to court is because the government was insisting to say it's supposed to be buried in what? Presidential site. So why didn't, during the Kaunda's case, why did the government agreed with the Kaunda's family and the wish? Because when they went to court, also, which means they took the government to court, and the judgment was given. So, but why? So maybe that is my question, Makazia.
Okay. Okay.
Why
Okay.
they voting
Okay.
now?
No. Hold that
This
thought.
family, this
Hold
time
it.
it's government.
Mone,
Government taking
Machina.
their chitumbi yawe.
Machina. Hold your thought. Hold your horses. Because there are so many questions that can be, asked to you. In all fairness, let's invite Bakalinda, who just joined us, our founder member from another podcast in the Bantu TV. Bakalinda, are you here or you are just listening in?
I'll be popping in and out. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
Wakazia, we got a doctor, we got everybody, we got people, from Zambia, and we just ironing out these issues, and the questions are big, and we want to find out, in fact, why is Eddie Galungu more important than Kaunda? According to everybody, they're saying it's more important than Kaunda, is more important than Mwanawasa, is more important than Sata, is more important than all the late presidents.
Except me, Shilandile Kwefyo Bachanda. I didn't say that.
Okay?
Remove me from
It's,
that. I didn't say that.
it's more important than all these past presidents that
Bachanda.
is,
Just to clarify.
I'm not mentioning your name.
Mwimbika moine Shilandile Kwefyo.
Okay. Okay,
Nimumulelani.
good. Okay, good. So it is more important than all these past presidents that he himself should be given a sort of a special funeral where only his family can view, they can view his body. Only his family, maybe 2, 3 members, not even his party members, not even they can go and see the body viewing. It's not even allowed. Only his specified people in the family can go and body view, and then the rest to just witness the burial. What is so special? I want to know why. What's going on?
Well, let me answer it this way. I always look at people's history, where they're coming from, okay? So everybody is not in disagreement when I say that Eddie Kalungu came through his presidents in violence and confusion, right? We are all in agreement with that. And that's how he's going out.
Exactly.
Confusion after confusion after confusion. It's history. Nobody can. In fact, before I even go any further, I have a bone to chew. Bakazia, you have not responded to my text. I know you are in mourning. You have not responded to my calls or my text. What's going on?
I'm sorry if I've not done that. When did you call me, my sister?
Oh, he was in the morning.
Okay.
He was in the morning. He
That
wasn't
is
responding to anybody.
no,
Even my daddy was complaining and everybody.
But Danny has blocked me. He doesn't even respond. When I have called him, I can screenshot on the forum. He never answers me.
Where are you
Like,
going?
it's
Because,
You
like
go to sleep.
Ichiriro has come to divide us.
eh?
Anyway,
But
go
Danny,
ahead,
but Danny
go
doesn't
ahead,
answer
Alright
Makalinda,
me.
with your question or
Okay,
contribution.
Ichiro shouldn't divide us. Anyway,
Oh,
now
but Danny
back.
never Zanda.
All right, now back to the the conversation. I mean, Balungu came in confusion. He's going out in confusion. I think to me, I mean, first off, I am absolutely. What's the word for it? I'm trying to find a proper word. I am flabbergasted at everything going on. I mean, I don't understand why we should be 3 months later. Valungu is still in a freezer. Why can't we bury him? I'd like to agree with the judges when they say, is it okay for those family members to bury Valungu, who is a former president? By the way, he's not stateless, to bury Valungu in South Africa and then get on a plane and go back to Zambia and then lead and continue living their life. Is that normal? I mean, what's so special about Valungu? Well, I'm not going to say that, Walungu is more important than Ramwanawasa, Kaunda. I mean, every one of our presidents was important because of the times we were in. Walungu's importance is to remind us as we go forward that we should never, ever, as a people, choose somebody who never even dreamt of being a president. We should never do that to begin with. Valungu, that's a fact. He's an accidental president, and we are where we are because of his past. So now, with all this, I mean, it's giving away. For argument's sake, I was listening into the people's president, Muliokela. I mean, I listen to him for entertainment. He is saying, I mean, you are even giving Bamuliokela, cause to suspect that actually Balungu is not dead. He's alive somewhere. Or the other confusion that's springing up, that he was shot somewhere because of a deal that went south. All these are coming up because one, nobody has seen Balungu's body since he died on June 5th. I mean, what is the end game here? I mean, my question now is, what is the end game? What is the end game to all this confusion? Because as a Zambian citizen, born and bred, I'm flabbergasted, and I'm already over it. Over it. At this point, let them bury to South Africa so that we can continue having our mercy at the granddaddies. That's my final word on this. I am so sick and tired.
Okay, I think I have a few things to say on that. Now,
Are you sure about Machina, you want to tackle this one?
yes, I do. I definitely want to respond to some of the things Wakalinda said.
Okay.
And for me, it doesn't. I don't see it that way. It's just me, the opinion. She has given her opinion. I respect it. I don't see it that way.
Mm.
I
Okay.
see it that Walungu is abused by him being a Democrat. He's been abused in life and even in death, to the point that you go check him out of the plane when he's heading for medication, for medical attention, and he chooses to go as a private person. You close his office. You do everything that in humanly possible to a person until he dies. You follow him in death. He says, I want to be buried privately in a private ceremony. I don't want all these shenanigans of saying, oh, whatever. Because I was never one. You took away everything. How do you come and respect someone in death and then rebuke him when he's alive? I do not want anyone to praise me when I'm dead. I want if someone has praises now. If I'm dead, put my person up street. There's nothing special about a dead body. There's everything special about living body. Mwakonkana mujamuine. mwaumfwana with government mwaumfwana awe ine wish yani yakabati ababakana besa tabakabeko. I don't want him near me. Na bonse basumina bakana besa tabakeko kuyabe kuti nishinshabereko because never president. How can't you tell kukwine nga wafumapo tukesa because we don't want you. What happens? Mwaima mwaya kukoti. Kukoti uko mwafuma kukoti. Mwaima mwaya na inspection later no but we monenga nafu etishinka. But who announced the death? The family announced, the president confirmed. You released the death certificate. Why were you releasing all these things? The embassy released the which to fetayari mamu pay the death certificate. After then you come and jump and say, let's go and inspect
Under which name?
if it's really dead.
Under which name?
We want to go and inspect if
Under
it's
which
really
name?
dead. Why were you inspecting? The name that you released from the embassy was Edgar Lungu. Which name did you ever release? What did the president say?
What name did he check in the
What
hospital?
did the president say? What name did he say the president himself who is in
No,
State
what
House?
name did he check in?
I'm talking about the name the president released. The president sitting in State House. What did he say? What did you make of that? You know, the president said who's dead. Imamwachinja supporters just to weave people around and change their mindset. It doesn't work anyway. The next thing no, we want dignity. That dignity number mwachinja mwambo kulanda to unika teka twali muchindiki. What do you do? Mwambo kumuita frozen fish. Mwambo kumuita akatumbi. Never minister baleshana.
Okay. Before you come in,
because I'm the one who is answering to let me respond to him. Let me respond to him. Yeah, because he's answering to me.
Respond. Respond, and then about Danny, you should come in. On this one,
finally, I agree with Makalinda. Lastly, on your final conclusion, let Balungu be buried anywhere and you guys move on. Musele, move on. The president close the national money. He was never an accidental president. He was elected by the Zambians. He ruled just like the current president. He's not an accidental president.
Let Makalinda respond. Let Makalinda respond, Danny, and then you can come after. Can we follow that order?
Great. All right. So let me just Bakazia. Everything you have just said right now, it's hearsay. Because those things you made, all those things you said, no, Balungu was mistreated, whatever. Those things were debunked in the courts of law in South Africa. Your own lawyer couldn't even produce any evidence, supporting what you just said. I mean, that's a fact. Your own lawyer failed to adduce evidence in the courts of law that Balungu was abused. And then secondly, in his own words, Balungu told his family that he wanted to be buried back home. That's evidence that was produced in the courts of law, supported by the Lungu's family themselves. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's not just spew rumors and innuendos, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Rumors and innuendos. You guys, you think you're going to use his body to win an election, in 2026. That's what you're doing. Bottom line, that's what's going on. And then people like Esther Nyawa, Lungu, Uyunani, what's her name again? Tasila Shinene Robinson Lungu wants to, rise into political fame. That's exactly what they're doing. But what you need to know is that Tasila Lungu herself will never be president of the Republic of Zambia. You know why? You know why? She's got dual citizenship. The Constitution is clearly states that anybody who seeks political office in Zambia has to be Zambian born and bred.
They are wanting to be president now.
She would never be.
So,
Let's move on.
No, because this one, we don't want it to be a woman-man battle. But Danny, bring your 2 cents in this one. I think we need to employ you on this one.
Okay. First, my wife. I called you. Anyway, that's, I'm not surprised.
Internet generation
But,
na maenge Danny.
so, he said that we went to court simply to make sure that one man is present at the funeral. That is not the reason why Zambian government went to court, but he had mentioned that. Secondly, the Lungu himself didn't want to be buried in South Africa. He said, when I die, take me to Zambia. PF is saying, let's bury him in South Africa. Okay? The family is saying, let's bury him in South Africa. The judge asked them, Lungu here stated, when I die, take me in a private jet to Zambia. Why are you? Who decided that now? Let's change the Imingara to now. Let's bury him in South Africa. They couldn't answer that question, Machandagazia. They couldn't. The judge asked them, where did this notion of burying him in South Africa come from? When we came, but then the judge asked, who came with this idea of South Africa burial? Because this paper I have in my hand says, Mwebantu nganafwa, mukantwale kuzambi. Lungu, ipaper, alembere. So I say, lawyer, lawyer. Where did this idea of South Africa come from? No, because of this, they couldn't answer it clearly. Anyway, the next thing I want to mention here is what PF, as Kalinda said, they are trying to use this situation to make political mileage and stuff, which would not work. It can't work. And me, what I've learned from this is this. As Africans, as Zambians to be specific, we should learn that when you that has no, what they say, there's no, if I ask Chandagazia right now, what are the benefits of being at the
Maybe put your internet is a little bit, just put your mic maybe close to the or your device close to your voice.
Oh, me?
So that
for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I ask Chandakazia right now as to what if HH is present at the funeral, what's gonna happen? Will Zambians die, or will something horrible happen? Nothing will happen. If he's there, can I finish? Am I still cutting whatever?
Yes.
No, crystal clear.
Okay, now I can hear you.
So we have to be as Zambians, we have to champion causes, or we have to argue over things that have repercussions. For example, if HH will be there, then the whole Zambia people are gonna die or something. But we're arguing over something which has no repercussions at all.
Very trivial.
For example, the Tutsis and Hutus, they were killing each other because they were saying this shouldn't marry this. A Tutsi can't marry a Hutu. If they marry, what happens? Nothing. But they started killing each other over that. No, you can't marry this. No, you can't do this. You can't mix. You can't do. Guys, we should learn as Africans. This is what the Lungu family are saying. But they are saying, HH shouldn't be at the funeral. HH shouldn't be at the funeral. It should be 100 miles away. Suppose it's there. What happens? Nothing.
And if he's not there,
if he's not there, nothing will happen.
Yeah, so let him not be there.
Excuse me.
It doesn't matter whether he's here. It doesn't matter whether he is here or there.
Can I finish, please?
I agree with my dad.
Can I finish?
Let him finish.
Okay.
Sorry.
What is a state funeral?
What
is a state? A state is headed by a president So you want to have a state funeral without the president? Let him
You
not be
are
there.
wrong.
No, we are doing the normal things here. We
You
are not
are
going to do
wrong.
the abnormal thing. The normal thing is that a state funeral is the president is there. A state funeral, a current president is there. Why should we do the abnormal when the normal is there? Excuse me. If Washington, you drive with your hands on the steering wheel, and today say no, I want to drive with my legs. Why do you want to drive with your legs when you have hands which you normally drive? Please. Why should we not have the president of the state funeral? Why are we complicating it?
Can I
Please,
educate you on
let's
something?
not argue over.
Vadani.
Let's not please do things. No, let
Va-
me finish. Let me
No,
finish.
no, no.
Let me
Let him
finish.
finish, and then Basimu Konde
Let
has
me
to come
finish.
in before you come in,
Because
Vakazia.
there's
So just
something I wanted to
hold your
clarify
horses.
before Bashum
Yeah,
Konda comes in.
because
Hold your
Just to
horses.
correct
Hold your
Vadani.
horses.
No,
normal
but
thing.
can you clarify
When
together with my
the normal thing,
questions?
No, I want to clarify
yeah,
Vadani's question happened because he has already misguided himself very big and in a bad way. I want to clarify one thing.
What's that?
Vadani, state funeral does not denote the president being there. No. State
Oh,
funeral, it is a privilege given. Even you, Vadani, you can be given a state funeral by the president. It's just a declaration that the
is he
president
there?
can give, which you can accept and you cannot accept. So it's not a law that state funeral is in a law that it's what the president can give to the person, and that person can accept or can refuse. There is nothing like when a president has a funeral, it shall be. No, the state funeral is a prerogative of the president conferring it on somebody. It is not a law.
okay.
One for done.
Okay. Mone Vakazia, I think you are challenging Vadani. It's very unfair because what Vadani is trying to point out, we're following the precedents. Okay?
Yes, you
Now,
drive with your hands on the steering.
Let's not lose each other here, and let's not confuse the Zambian masses. There's a precedence that has been set. When
Is it a law?
Bakaunda Bafwide, like I was saying, Vaed is not bigger than Bakaunda. Bakaunda did a lot. But imagine this, as big as Bakaunda has been revered across Africa, you can go and ask any country in Africa or anywhere in the world about the name Kaunda. Two things, me and I'm traveling, the two
What
things
is
they
your
tell
point,
me,
Vatanda?
what's the problem? I tell them I'm from Zambia. Oh, Kaunda.
What is your point?
The point is this. He was denied to be buried next Nababeti. So there was that precedence set. So that precedence, when it's set, it doesn't have to be in the national documents, parliament. No. That's also law. That's what we're following. So, precedence, following it, because it is now a law. So let's not no Bakazia Moneni. Let's not
I would want you.
misguide.
Can you
So why
okay?
are you trying to interject? When a precedence is set, there's no way you can go and revise it or do the opposite. So balungu bene bamdala baja nga bayisa ekitumbe kyayita mu Zambia. Same way that any of all those presidents were buried is the same way he's going to be buried. National interest presides over personal or family. As much as bakatukane makoti, bakalande shani, bakasinanikane. No. That's not gonna work. But in any case, Vasim Konda, you can come in and then Vakazia, you can respond. But otherwise, on that one, I don't think there's nobody misguiding anybody, or you cannot attack Danny to say he's misleading the people. or trying to educate him on the things
Okay, thank you.
that we're seeing.
But what done is he can answer for himself. You don't
Okay,
have to answer him.
let me come in, Wakazi. Okay, thank you very much. I think you are missing a point here. First of all, let's go back from the beginning. I concur with Wakalinda what she said. To say the president came into politics or into presidents with confusions. And he is going with also what? Confusions. And the Bemba says, ubufumu buchindika ubufumu bwine. That is what the Bemba says. The level of the former president, Edgar Lungu, was not the level of Given Ruvinda and other PF. He was a former head of state who ruled this country for 7 years. Valungu tavaichindike avene. And no one, if chindika tapari wanampero muchinshi. The most advice advice ni va Given Ruvinda, Nakachinda, Mumbipiri. The level of our former president was not even the level of our HH. The HH is a president, but when you talk of experience, it's different. That is what we have to understand. So it's not the level of the PF it was not the level yava Edgar. But tabaichindika bene valungu nga baliichindikira abantu bose nga bali bapera fyo muchinshi bwino bali ruling a country no ruling for 7 years nga balikala so that everyone, even the president HH, can go and get advice. But tabaichindika bene. So now we are saying that murefu abashikire ku South Africa. Okay, quite right. Cheni bashike ku South Africa. Then HH nga wafuma pali bu president olo mukaleta board mu 2026. By then HH will be a former head of state. Whether mukairete bakabako because he is part of the government. Even if nangona bafuma munanika mu power, will be the former head of state. He will be there. And the point of view to Kaimona. So there's nothing here that you are arguing at as long as the president is part of the government and any activities, no one, don't even me or Bakaziya HH. Why? No.
Wasimkonda.
No. Bafuire fe basangwako. So it isn't have it. So now, vakalete munenda toke bekabako, vakabe aside. Those head of states abakafuma from outside country, abakesa bapukane ba Given Ruvinda, honestly speaking. Nishibayeche china bekala ku state house nanguna abana mukubomba ataka kaidine chine tangwako. Baletambira pa TV. Who is going to receive those people?
There is even Mamutana Lumango can do that.
Why?
Why not?
But you could talk about PF. Could talk about PF.
Clarify Wasimkonda. Ukulanda tiba Edgar Lungu tabaichindi. Ni mweba UPND. They won't say awe. Mweba UPND. Ni mwemulelande. Yo. It is your opinion that tabaichindi. Even mwaishire no bufimu buteko. You understand? Mune bepa abantu mwaba bepa mwaba pomba kotoni paka mwaingira mu buteko. Muneteka. It's okay. You understand? So ukola taichi fish Edgar Lungu achitire taichindike. What did he do outside his rights? Everything that he was doing is part of his constitutional rights that are there. Imamu afipanga pena taichindike. Elo mwayamba hii ne mentality he later ma president in a lot of ridicule. where Mwaima Mwala to worship president. Mwala but president is a servant. Te boss wenu awe. But HH is not our boss, he's our
But Chair,
servant.
can you regulate the
Can
topics?
you maybe first, can you push it? Don't interject me.
We are talking something else here. You are going too much.
No, I want just to respond what I just respond to Mkonda specifically when he said he didn't respect himself. And I'm saying no, he did respect himself. It is your view as UPND trying to manipulate it in that way. Then number two,
Ukunwama Jameson every day.
I am going to also
Jameson every day.
oh mulefa wose tulelanda nga mwayamba okulanda tefu.
Okay, all right, fine. Okay, fine. Bakazia, finish your point.
Interject everybody.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Let me finish.
Yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
And you are there watching.
No, I'm not saying Ikalenizi. What I'm trying to give is a guidance.
Okay.
Finish your point, okay? And then if I'm done, you can say what you want, and then we go to, because we can we can discuss this issue day and night. But let's tackle other issues as well.
Umuntu ngaleta ama questions kuli I must answer them.
I'm not disagreeing. Am I disagreeing? I'm just saying ngamwapisha to answer those questions. Okay? Let's see. Can we close this one? Because tatwa sinani kane tatwa umfwane pali issue. Issue tatwa umfwane. But the majority of the Zambians now
opinion because majority of the Zambians
point
but enough money bachanda point ukuland at the majority from your angle. Yes, it is fine. Now inenga at the majority, you must also respect my majority. I am not here to respect your majority or you respecting my majority. It is here to give each other points of what the arguments are. And also to avoid thinking on the behalf of the other person. Because when you think on my behalf, I have the same right to think on your behalf.